Matt, good to talk to you.
Great to be here, Jenny.
I think a lot of people probably suspected this, but you actually have obtained dozens of emails showing that the Justice Department worked with Media Matters to go after reporters covering many of the scandals like ATF's Operation Fast and Furious. What actually prompted you to start looking into this?
Well, late last year, this is when we actually filed the FOIA request with the Department of Justice, which was in early December 2011. Was right around the time that Media Matters was really, attacking me on a regular basis. So I was really curious to see if the Department of Justice had anything to do with that, because that was around the time that Fast and Furious had really taken off as a major scandal. Many people were calling for the resignation of Attorney General Eric Holder, and at that point is when at the White House, our White House reporter had asked the Attorney General Holder to respond to these calls for his resignation, and he blamed the calls for his resignation on us, on the Daily Caller. He said that we're behind it. This is not organic. It's not real. I just figured, I'd file a Freedom of Information Act request and see if there's any communication between the Department of Justice Public Affairs Director, Tracy Schmaler, and the Department of Justice. Lo and behold, 10 months later, at the end of August this year, they came through and they produced 69 pages of emails. I don't know if this is all the communication that DOJ has had with Media Matters, but it shows an intense communication level down to the specifics. I mean, the Department of Justice is putting together hit pieces for Media Matters to take out people who are covering the scandals that they don't want out there.
Absolutely. I mean, these emails, as you said, they show direct coordination between the DOJ and Media Matters. One email dealing with Congressman Issa.
They not only did they go after media figures. I mean, they went after House Oversight Committee Chairman Darrell Issa. They put together a hit piece on him that was done by the Justice Department. It was, of course, made to look like Media Matters did it on their own. But that wasn't the case. We all know that it was the Justice Department that was behind these smear jobs, and that's what this proves, is that Eric Holder and the Department of Justice and the Obama administration are using this partisan media organization that somehow randomly, magically still has a tax-exempt status. It's unbelievable that they do, but at the same time they have a tax-exempt status. They claim to tell the truth. They don't. If you look through their content on their website, it's filled with misinformation and lies.
Yep.
And now we know where those lies are coming from, at least in part, and that is from the Obama administration itself. And this is very dangerous because of the fact that, first off, this is a taxpayer-funded office. The Office of Public Affairs at the Justice Department is there to tell the truth to media. That's what they're there for the most part.
It's like they were running a PR agency right out of the Department of Justice.
That's the thing, is that they're running a PR agency that's there to lie and distort the truth about Eric Holder and all the evil that he's done. Like a private PR agency rather than an office that's there to tell the truth.
When you look at what you found, clearly another sign of desperation on the part of this administration that promised transparency and honesty. To go to these lengths to try to put the spin on the news like this. Your thoughts?
It's not shocking to any of us who really know the truth about this administration, who have been covering it closely for the past several years. But this is what this does is it really confirms what we've all suspected all along. There's email evidence. People can go read them. I published all the emails. 69 pages of the Department of Justice smearing media outlets, and it's all out there on our website. The thing is that this is terrifying. I don't understand why people aren't outraged by this. This is unbelievable. These people are supposed to be there to tell the truth, and they're not.
You have been looking into this for 9 months. You submitted the Freedom of Action request, and the Freedom of Information request, and you just got a response now. It took that long.
They're technically supposed to respond within 20 days, and there are certain times in which they might need an extension for sometimes legitimate reasons. They're supposed to notify us. They did not notify us, the Daily Caller, for the entire 9 to 10 months that it took them to fulfill this request. They took long outside that, and what that signals to me is that the Department of Justice did not want these emails getting out, but they were required under law to produce them, and they took as long as they could hold off. And
like everything else, right?
Right, like everything else, and they looked for as many ways out as they could. But our Freedom of Information Act request was written narrowly and narrowly enough that they had to give out this information, and that's the thing is that I'm curious as to what other things they're hiding, because there's a good chance that if this is not the whole thing, I know that. What else do they have? And also, and this is something that I would encourage people out there in the general public to do, is anybody can do this, is file a Freedom of Information Act request with other government agencies as to what they're talking to Media Matters about. I mean, what are they talking to the EPA about? What's the EPA putting over there? You see a lot of stories about that. What's every department, government agency, and the thing is that more and more people that do this, the more and more the truth will get out, and the information will be forced out of these people who are essentially there lying for a living.
Yeah, and as you said, this was about challenging the credibility of reporters. I mean, the list is miles long. I know that Media Matters went after Cam Edwards. They went after me. They've gone after you. They've gone after Katie Pavlich. What has been the reaction to your story today?
Pretty much everybody out there that were named in these, and that's why I say I fully expect there to be more emails that they have that they were able to skirt around our FOIA request with and hang on to. But everybody that's in them is just everybody kind of knew that they were going to be there, that this coordination was going to be there. But once again, this is documentary proof that these people are coordinating to lie with taxpayer money.
Yeah, and I mean it's just so obvious. Blatantly obvious. I mean, there they are. They're actually communicating back and forth while they're watching Fox News saying, hey, did you see this tease with Bill Hemmer?
Yeah, and on top of that, too, the Department of Justice, Eric Holder's personal spokeswoman is telling Media Matters, will you write this? Will you write that? Will you do this? Will you do that? Please cover this. Did you see this one? How about this? And she's highlighting things for him. I don't remember the last time Tracy Schmaler has answered one of my press requests. And you know what? I'm a credentialed journalist. I have Capitol Hill press credentials. And the last time that I don't remember the last time she's answered a press request of mine. Yet she's answering questions for George Soros-funded propaganda hit machine websites. And the thing is that she's clearly not there to tell the truth. She's clearly there to lie and cover up Eric Holder's wrongdoing and evil doing. And that's what's scary about this. And it's one can only imagine what they're going to do if he gets reaelected.
Well, and you got to wonder if there's other departments doing the same thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that I fully expect other departments are doing the same thing, and I hope other reporters out there start digging into this on other scandals as well. I fully plan to look into if there's communications between Media Matters and other agencies as well. But I mean, the thing is that they're clearly there to lie and cheat and steal and smear the people who are legitimately interested in telling the truth. And
they're actually monitoring, Fox News. They monitor NRA News. I mean, they monitor the Daily Caller. It's
they monitor Fox. They monitor everybody.
Yep. But from what you know, is anything really legally wrong with what they're doing?
There's a good chance that this is documentary evidence that Media Matters has violated their tax-exempt status, which means that they're working in favor of one person over another. They're supposed to be there to, quote, tell the truth, but they're not doing that, and this is pretty clear from this coordination. So, it's been suggested from different members of Congress in the past that there may be an investigation into whether or not they would their tax-exempt status should be revoked. I would expect that will be renewed as more and more information comes out about these devious characters, and we'll see.
Yeah, are there any of the other emails that really stand out in your mind? I know they also went back and forth about the new Black Panther Party voter intimidation scandal.
Yep, they've been working together for years.
Yep.
They've been working together since 2010, as far as I know, and who knows if before that. Once again, they may have found ways around the different FOIA requests to hide information. But yeah, they worked together to smear Christian Adams and Chris Coates, who were former DOJ attorneys, who were very vocal about the dismissal of the voter intimidation case. Clear-cut voter intimidation, by the way. I mean, it's on video that they were waving a billy club, the new Black Panther Party, in front of a polling place in Philadelphia, and and they were working together to smear those two, as well as Hans von Freskowski from the Heritage Foundation,
right,
who was also there, and they've gone after everybody, and now we know that this isn't just Media Matters coming up with this on their own. It's the Obama administration that's doing it, and they're using Media Matters to smear us all.
And as you found out, Media Matters was often sending to the public affairs director for the DOJ the full copy, the text of what they were writing about reporters they were going after.
And that's the thing is that I think the major thing behind this is that this is not some left-wing loonies over at Media Matters, as some would suspect. I mean, this is a serious thing. The Obama administration is deciding to hit all of us and to try to smear all of us because they don't like what we're writing. This is, I mean, the mere fact that these people still work for the taxpayers, are still being paid by taxpayers, is just unbelievable. And at the same time, it's a sign that Barack Obama himself believes that it's okay to do this because he continues to employ people like Tracy Schmaler and other people at the Department of Justice who are involved in this.
Absolutely. I mean, here you got the story coming out, too, just days before the Inspector General is going to be up on the Hill reporting about his new, and being asked questions, testifying about his new report on Fast and Furious.
That's another thing too, is that there are reports that the Department of Justice has tried to intimidate the Inspector General to remove information from that report. So I mean, here's the thing: is that this information is a team of smear hit job people, and they do not believe in the truth. This is evidence of it, and if these people aren't held accountable, I don't know what's going to happen. Things are looking pretty grim.